intuitive wisdom and the power of inner knowing. So, what this chapter 47 of the Tao Te Ching teaches us is that true understanding comes from looking inward. What does it mean? Most of the people say look inward, but then how to do that, right? I'll explain. So most of the people are searching external, outside of themselves, searching for their soulmates, traveling or getting external data and trying to become smarter and more and more and more. And that's very wrong. Lao Tzu of the Tao Te Ching teaches us to focus on the paradox, the core paradox. What does it mean? So without going outside your door, you can know the whole world. Without looking out your window, you can see the ways of heaven. Interesting, right? So most of the people think the further they go, the less they know. And that's true. Because gathering endless external information often creates mental noise and distractions. More and more and more and more, right? So what is then the wise person's way, or basically the sage way? Okay? The sage way, or the wise person's way, is to arrive without traveling, seize without looking, and accomplish without doing anything. Or I will say the Wu way, effortless action. So they rely on the universal pattern of their own nature. It's very important. So that's why in my previous video I talk more about know your nature. So let's say that you have to trust your intuition on a personal level. Stop constantly seeking validation from others, or keep asking people for advice when it comes to personal decision. Sit in the silence. Close your eyes, like I said in my previous video about meditation. Look inward and trust your gut feelings, because that is your inner child is trying to help you. So what is the thing that most of people was thinking is that when it comes to a real personal decision, especially a huge one, which is marriage, and you try to gather information from your friends or anyone, that's very wrong. Because that doesn't mean that they don't want to help you, your friends or your family. They do. But sometimes the information you get is just based on the surface that they know that other person or the other or yourself is eventually. You're the only person that must take responsibility of your own action, regardless when it comes to marriage or jobs or education or whatever, even the choice of buying anything, okay? Don't need to ask anyone. Maybe it's good that you really want their suggestion, but don't take it as face value, regardless who it is. Okay. Another one is the danger of over-seeking, right? Like I said, you have to try to trust your intuition, the gut feeling. You have to limit digital distractions. So the further you go, today means that, for example, most of people scroll endlessly on social media or a news feed or any other website. But I will say unplug regularly to reconnect with your mind. That means that you have to put your phone aside. I know it's hard, but you must try. That's why some of the country already banned for kids, especially below 16 years old. Sorry, I do agree with that. Because this dopamine, this continued dopamine is killing a lot of people's minds, and especially kids' imagination in a very young age. And we adults are also responsible for that. We have to provide a great example. Alright? So that's why sometimes I call it the no phone day on Sundays. Very hard, I have to say. But then we just turn off the phone. At least maybe one phone is on, just in case of emergency that someone wants to call us, but most of the time there's nothing happen. So please, please, please remind yourself a no phone day, or a sticky note first in the beginning to put your phone aside. Alright, Let's go to the next one is practice mindfulness, because you do not need expensive vacations to find inner peace, like going to on top of a mountain or go to a more exotic place, Asian, or anywhere or Egyptian pyramid to find enlightenment, which is good if you have the money all the time, but most of people don't have that. And once they come back, they'll be the same again. And they think, I felt so enlightenment when I was there, X, Y, and Z. Yes, that's true, because you were out of your mind. And we have to do that. You don't need to go to those exotic places. What you can do is find the depth and the beauty in your current surroundings. Today, you can find it. How? My meditation or a quiet walk outside. Okay? So meditation, look at my video, I have put it already online. It's basically try to do it between 4 to 6 o'clock a.m. in the morning. I know it's very hard in the beginning, but once you try it, you'll never be the same again. Alright, the business life. Focus on core strategy, like I mentioned earlier, is avoid chasing every new industry trend. Most of the people are trend chasers, ridiculous. A gimmick or competitive move. Try to focus on your own move. Look at your company's internal strengths, of course your weakness as well. Always improve your company's strengths, but manage your weakness by maybe outsourcing or hiring someone that can basically supplement your weakness. And stick to your core vision, your moat, okay? What is the purpose of your business? What is the thing that your client always wants? And they will always come back to you because they will have this kind of ambassador. They will tell another client, and you don't need any budget for any marketing, by the way. You're not gonna make other giant social media like Google rich with the search, which is stupid. You have to be like Tesla. Then you don't need any marketing business. Expense zero, and you just pour that money into your product or your services to make it much better than your competitor. Your client will help you promote your product. All right, via mouth to mouth, is what we call then ambassador. Prevent analysis paralysis. I know most of people are too left-minded, which is called analytical mind. They gather too many information, so many information that they cannot even make a decision, which is ridiculous sometimes. You have to do your analysis, of course, but there is a certain time, and eventually when you do all your due diligence, meaning that you gather all the analysis, the data, the pros and cons, if you weight it, the points doesn't weigh the same, by the way. You have to see what's important. Let's say, for example, you buy a house. You have to find out what kind of type of house I want, what are the pros, what are the cons, and weight it. Weight it means is it so important that we need to have 2 windows in our big master bedroom? Maybe not. Just put 10% weighting. Is it maybe important in the house to have 3 toilets? Maybe not. 2 is enough. Of course, I would recommend at least 2. And all the other stuff. So you weight it, and then you make your analysis by the end of the day, and you buy the house, and you stop complaining after you bought it. That's one example. Another example is about partners, but I will do that in a separate video because it will be even longer. Last but not least, about business life. Prioritize deep work. What I mean is that stop filling your schedule with low value added meetings, like just endless meetings in corporation these days about, oh, let's have a Zoom meeting, oh, let's do this meeting. But most of the meetings are BS, by the way. Just try to cut those things. And a lot of consultants will tell you that, okay? Endless waste of resources. Think about what I told you about the wu-wei action. Is only do the things that make sense and that is effortless for you. So block out the interrupted time for deep, quiet thinking to solve complex business problems, because you need to block yourself in the silence so that you make a decision. Some people do meditation or transcendental meditation or whatever meditation is fine. Some people have a group think, and then after that they analyze it quickly and then come to a conclusion, and eventually the decision maker must make a decision without thinking too much, otherwise it's, like I said, analysis paralysis. So all in all, is this silent superpower will help you, okay? So you don't need to travel, like I said, to any places, and I hope this will help you. Thank you so much.